Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Pitch Talk.
We are fans of football dropping vlogs, videos and podcasts on the beautiful game.
Check out our videos on YouTube and Instagram's IGTV,
including special feature segments,
5 minutes with the G,
the straight shooting view,
coaching with JBK. We produce, record and edit video content
and audio on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Verbal, Podomatic,
Anchor,
Spotify
and other podcast platforms.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook
and www.pitch-talk.com.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I can see you now. I can see you now and then. I can see you now.
Welcome to
Coaching with JBK. Welcome. It's yours truly, JBK, with another edition. And another edition of the WSL and Championship Roundup. A lot of games this week that have happened, and we also have the international break coming up. So, let's get to it as quickly as possible. We go with the first game of the weekend, which was Arsenal versus Tottenham Hotspurs on the 24th of September, a 1:30 kickoff. A game that, unfortunately, as much as I had a ticket, I had to give it up. It wasn't the greatest feeling, but it was something that sometimes you just have to do. But a record attendance for WSL matches in terms of 47,000 was there, and 53,000 tickets were sold. But very good in terms of the attendance, in terms of people getting in and watching Women's football. So, getting on to the result. Beth Mead with a goal in the 5th minute, followed by Vivian Miedema with a goal in the 44th. Raphael with a goal in the 54th minute before Miedema finished it off in the 68th minute. Good football being played by Arsenal. Watching the game from my TV, unfortunately. Not necessarily in the stadium, but it was good football being played. Closing down was good from Arsenal, and they showed their character to round off the result very quickly. Well done to Arsenal, who, if I speak again, no, I won't be in trouble for this, but if we're talking about Champions League results, well done to Arsenal on getting through to the group stages of the Champions League, beating Ajax 3-2 on aggregate. First game finishing 2-2, the second game only being completed as of yesterday at the time of this recording, which is a Thursday. The game was finished with a 1-0 scoreline with, of all people, the Dutch maestro herself, or maestra, Vivian Miedema getting the goal. We move it on and we go to Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Reading 1. The goals coming in pretty much late in the first half and late in the second half. So Lee Gwynmin with a goal in the 40th minute for Brighton and Hove Albion, before a second goal was scored by Katie Robinson in the 80th minute. Wellens with a goal to bring it back in the 94th for Reading, but Brighton see out the result. And this is one of those results where both teams had the weekend before had lost 4-0. So the fact that they've managed to find a way around this to still be competitive against each other, with the fact that both teams came back with at least goals and also a result, meant that things were going in the right direction for Brighton, at least. But it shows it shows that Reading and Brighton can definitely compete going forward, and seeing where they get to will be a good conversation to have later on in the season. We move on, and we go to Leicester City 0, Aston Villa 2. This result was a Midlands game, which both teams really wanted to win and get a good result from. wanted to push hard for possibly a mid-table to top half of the table finish before the international break. And that's what everybody's looking for. It's not just a result that anybody's going to look at and say, well, they can't make it, but you're looking at getting as high up the table as you can as one of those results. I'll move it on with that explanation. Daly with a penalty in the Rachel Daly with a penalty in the 3rd minute, and one other goal was scored by Gelnick in the 86th minute. I apologise if I have misspelled that or missaid it in the wrong way. Moving it on, just so that we can go through the results. The next result that we're looking at is West Ham United 0, Manchester United 2. West Ham trying their hardest just to take on Manchester United in this one, but Manchester United pretty much had the better of the possession and had more shots on target with more corners in the game. With the first goal coming in, Garza with the first goal for Manchester United in the 50th minute, followed by a goal in the 55th minute, in 10 minutes after half-time from Blundell, giving Manchester United the win overall. Well done to Manchester United on that one. Another 3 points gained, another 7 goals scored. We move it on to Liverpool versus Everton. This was the later kickoff at 6:45 as it was being hosted at Anfield, a Merseyside derby. What a game to have. It was generally a good spectacle for not just for Liverpool fans but for Merseyside in general, as they had the real lion's share of the game as much as possible. Well, Everton did, I would say. But just to move it on quickly, Finnegan with a goal in the 9th minute, Park with a goal in the 33rd, so it was 2-0 at half-time. Benison with a goal to round it off in the 87th minute, giving Everton all 3 points. And as somebody may say, Merseyside is blue. Not sure if that's going to be the case going into their reverse fixture, but you never know. These results do spring surprises. We move it on, and we're talking about the 2 results between Chelsea's games. So I haven't spoken about Chelsea yet because they had 2 games this week. The first was Sunday against Manchester City at Kingsmeadow, and it was a 2-0 result for Chelsea. Well done to them. A 42nd minute goal by Frank Kirby, and then Maren Mjelde with a penalty kick in the 78th minute. Well done to Chelsea for the first result. And again, they had a game literally just at the time of this recording, just yesterday, where they played West Ham United. A rescheduled fixture for the game that wasn't played on the first weekend of the season, which should have been the 11th of September, but it wasn't. They've played again on the 28th of September at Kingsmeadow. Chelsea with a 3-1 scoreline, a 3-1 win over West Ham United. But to put it in a quotation of surprise, West Ham took the lead. 3 minutes in, Brynäs-Dottir with a goal for West Ham United, and then Frank Kirby brought it back to 1-1 before half-time on the 40th minute. Sam Kerr with a goal in the 58th before Millie Bright finishes it off with a goal in the 62nd minute. What a time to get those goals, because, again, those are the games that Chelsea need to win in order to retain their crown. And if they're not, these are the results that they'll look back on and say, well, this is where we should have done well. This is where we should have excelled, and this is where we failed. So, first results are all out the way for the Women's Super League, We're also going to look at the table itself. And as we do so, we just got to remind ourselves that going into this, it is going to be a nice look for Arsenal fans. They are top of the table. Despite Chelsea playing 3 games, Arsenal are top of the table, and so are Manchester United with 6 points each, but with a goal difference of +2 in Arsenal's favour. Aston Villa 3rd in the table. Chelsea are now up to 6th, so all 4 teams are on 6 points. And then you have Everton, Liverpool in 5th and 6th there. Then Brighton and Hove Albion in 7th, followed by Tottenham Hotspurs, followed by West Ham United. And then we go to Manchester City, Leicester City, and Reading all on 0. That will change over the course of the season. We just need to see how that looks for those that are in charge. Will we see any managerial changes this season? Or will it be that everybody gets their fair share of games going forward? Hopefully we'll see it coming through. And then there is not just one league, there are 2 in the professional environment, with the first one already been talked about. The second one now is the Barclays Women's Championship. And that league had these results. The first one, Sunderland 2, Charlton Athletic 3. First goal being scored by Sunderland in the 27th minute by Scar. Rutherford with a goal in the 63rd minute, followed by a second one 6 minutes later. Kelly with a goal in the 78th minute to equalise. So Rutherford, and so it was 2-1. I will rephrase this and I'll start all over again. So Sunderland 2, Charlton Athletic 3, Scar with the goal in the 27th minute, followed by Rutherford, who made it 1-1. Kelly with a goal in the 78th minute to make it 2-1 to Sunderland. Skills with a goal in the 79th to make it 2-2, followed by the winning goal scored in the 92nd minute by Endal. Hopefully we'll get some results that I do not mess up on this show. I'm working so hard just to make sure that doesn't happen. So we move it on. And apologies to anybody who I may have offended in that situation. Hopefully nobody has been offended, but I do apologise if I have offended anybody. So we move it on and we go to the next result is Lewis Women 2, Sheffield United 2. Big game for this, for Lewis Women, as well as the fact that Sheffield United are close to the top. Goals being scored quite quickly there. Just looking for the results on this one. So the goals being scored in this quite quickly in this game. Goals in the first half as well as goals in the second half between Lewis Women and Sheffield United. Those goals were being scored quite quickly. I'm just going to go through this one once more. Hopefully we'll get the results come up and those who scored the goals too. Sometimes I don't have the best in technology. Hopefully we'll get the result coming up, but we'll move it on. The next result coming through was London City Lionesses 3, Durham FC 0. Goal in the 15th minute for London City Lionesses in the 15th minute, followed by who was scored by Ewans, followed by Rogers in the 44th minute, and the 63rd minute saw Fitzgerald scoring the last of the 3 goals. A sending off for Durham FC in the 68th minute doesn't really change the result, but also it means that a player no longer plays in that next game. Trust me, it's not the thing that you want to be missing out on because of a red card. But it does happen. Sometimes you just have to keep a cool head. Unless the challenge was enough to be warranted as a red card. We move it on. Birmingham City 3, Coventry United 2. Based on the results of before for Coventry United, this is a lot closer. This one, the last outing against Sheffield United wasn't great. But against Birmingham City, they seem to have found a way to galvanise themselves in this game. First goal being scored by Pennock in the 13th minute, followed by a goal by Louise Quinn in the 19th minute. The final goal for Birmingham City scored in the 59th minute. And then the Coventry United rally, as they did so last season, coming back round. McAteer with a goal in the 67th minute and an own goal in the 89th minute to make the scoreline a little bit closer than it actually was. But that's the way to show that you were still going forward in the league. Still want to get those results out there, making sure that everybody recognises how good you still can be on that pitch. And ultimately, who deserves to be there? That is a big question. Who deserves to be in the Championship? So, we move it on. And we are talking Blackburn Rovers 1, Crystal Palace 3. Hughes with a goal in the 13th minute, with her second in the 43rd. And then she gets a hat-trick in the 53rd minute. Jordan with a goal in the 60th from the penalty spot, but wasn't enough to turn the game around for Blackburn Rovers. Well done to Crystal Palace. And we move this one on. And we go into our final game, which is Bristol City 1, Southampton 1. Very close game, this one. Two teams that are really looking to... Well, one that has made their debut this season and another that is trying to get back into the WSL. Goal in the 29th minute from Morgan for Bristol City, followed by Lumsden with a goal in the 47th minute. But all results have been shared. That 2-2 result has not come up, unfortunately, between Lewis and Sheffield United in terms of the scorers. But I'm pretty sure if you put it into the comment section when we're on Spotify, Podbean, Verbal, all of these other places, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I'm sure somebody will be able to put it into the comment section. Even YouTube. Put it into the comment section as to who scored and which goal they enjoyed the most out of the 4 goals that were scored between Lewis and Sheffield United. So the table looks like this. It is Bristol City at the top, followed by Charlton Athletic, and this is after 4 games in the Championship. Crystal Palace in 3rd, Sheffield United in 4th. London City Lionesses and Birmingham City all share points with Sheffield United. Southampton in 7th on 5, Lewis on 4, Durham FC also on 4, Blackburn Rovers on 3, Sunderland on the 1 point, and Coventry United, unfortunately, with none. But I'm looking forward to this weekend because there is a very, very important weekend coming up, not just for football internationally, but also for another reason, which I know people are going to be talking about for quite some time. There are going to be games in the FA Cup. And I'm hoping people get a chance to go down and watch some games wherever they can, because it'll be worth it. I think for the qualifying rounds that it is, I think there's going to be some teams that people are going to want to see. So hopefully they get the chance to go down, watch a few games if they can. The first of which, well, the one that I will definitely be at will be Wycombe Wanderers against Sporting League Benfica. If you get the chance to watch it, please do so. If you get a chance to get to any match in the FA Cup, please do so. Internationally, there will be games. But for now, I hope you guys have a long weekend and you enjoy yourself as much as possible too. See you soon. Peace.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution.
Check out the official Pitch Talk website.
www.pitch-talk.com. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Pitch Talk.
We are fans of football dropping vlogs, videos and podcasts on the beautiful game.
Check out our videos on YouTube and Instagram's IGTV,
Including special feature segments.
5 minutes with the G.
the straight shooting view,
Coaching with JBK.
We produce, record and edit video content.
and
Audio on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
verbal, Podomatic,
Anchor.
Spotify.
and other podcast platforms.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on Twitter, Instagram.
Facebook.
And www.pitch-talk.com.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I can see you now.